Welcome back to another episode of Junk Jaw Resell Podcast. My name's Jay.
I'm Ray.
I'm Kenny.
Welcome back, guys. We do appreciate it. If you've seen us before, or this is your first time back, or first time here, please feel free, if you watch us for a while, hit that like, subscribe, and comment. We really appreciate it, and the algorithm does too. So we might as well get into this. Just heads up, we are going to be having a wrestling match with Trash to Cash. And
Okay.
I just thought I'd get everybody's attention right from the get-go. But wouldn't that be, think about it, wouldn't that be cool? It'd be like the Reseller podcast wrestling match, Trash to Cash versus Junk Jaw, or like Junk Jaw versus what other three men podcast are there?
We're just the three amigos.
Now, listen, if we were to wrestle, which one would you take, Ray? Who would you take at Trash to Cash?
I'm just gonna lay there and watch.
What?
I don't want to fight nobody, man. Like, I ain't starting nothing.
Commonwealth looks like he has weak wrists. You know what I mean? He's easy. You just shove him to the side.
Come on now, be nice.
ADH Dave ain't got the heart for it. You know what I mean? Once he sees a little bit of blood, he's out of the running. I guess it's arbitrage. He's the only one left.
You know what? If somehow there's a fan of Trash to Cash out there, we're just joking around or just playing around. They'll respect those guys over there.
I watch them every week.
Wrist,
Yeah.
Good reseller, but
he has a weak wrist. Okay. That's cool. No. You know what? I mean, I wouldn't mind being on their podcast for a hot second.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I'm
cool.
joking.
Yeah, no, we're just joking. So don't take it to heart. Ray's like, oh my God, they're gonna hate us.
I don't know. I didn't even know what to say. You just come out saying it. I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking
we gotta excite this thing from the get go. We have to start exciting this up from the get go. People are like, oh, these guys are really gonna go in a wrestling match with Trash to Cash. It's like, no.
No, I'll be in the audience with my popcorn watching you guys get your ass kicked.
I hope not.
I ain't doing nothing. I don't stand a chance.
Well, then you and ADH Dave will be out there in the audience.
Yeah. Yep.
No, that's cool. Well, tell us, how were you guys' week?
You want to go first, Kenny?
No, you good.
Sales were decent. I think they're like, like I said last week, they're back up to where they should be. So I mean, nothing really crazy this week like I had last week with that jersey. But they're steady. I mean, I'm making just as much money as I should be for the work I'm putting in. So I think it's pretty good. Yep.
That's good.
I mean, I had sales trickled in. My issue is I've been plagued with returns. I mean, not even like things my own fault. I mean, it's just nonsense. Like people lie about things, or I just didn't want it, or I changed my mind. That type of. I've just been plagued for the last 30 days with return after return. A couple.
Are we already starting complaint of the week?
No, dude. It's
complaint of the week.
I think it's pointing to something bigger. Maybe people just because of the economy. I have no idea what it is. It's just I've never seen this many returns. For me, this is the most I've ever had. It's just.
Do you think it's like buyer's remorse?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. It's just a lot of returns for the dumbest things.
Like
back to back.
Like
right?
what kind of items are people buying and returning?
It's all mixed. It's not just like one type of item. There's male levied items and there's female items.
Mm-hmm.
It's all mixed. It's happening all over the place.
Yeah, but like what are the reason they're putting on there?
I didn't like it. I changed my mind. Oh, look at this little thing that. Here's the problem. This is why I'm sending it back when that clearly wasn't an issue, or they created the issue. If it was true, that it would be my fault. But really, it wasn't, right? Like, I would never sell an item that would like have like a cut in the side of the purse or the strap or something, right? They
Yeah.
clearly put that so they could return the item. Because I would have never sold that item with a cut in the fucking strap. Excuse my language.
Mhm.
I'm just again here, complaint section of the junk job. Oh, I'm just tired of getting returns, man. It's irritating because it's the reason why I'm getting returns. I just changed my mind. I just didn't want it. I just want my money back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's mainly the main reason. I don't know why it's happening. I have my theories, but I just think it's just it's that time of year for returns. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. No, it can be frustrating either way you put it.
It
Yeah.
is, and it's not even really the money issue. I mean, it is the money issue, but it's just the ear that where they're lying, right? Like, but you can't put that. You can't put like, oh, I know you're a liar, right? You're just making this up to get your money back, or you're
Well,
gonna switch out the item.
it's always frustrating because you put in the work, the time to do all this stuff, and then you think you have all this money from it, and then it's just taken right back.
Yeah,
You know.
because I have a
But
pile of things that have defects that I would never list on eBay.
hmm
I go over my items, you know, arduously to make sure, like, hey, look, there's no cuts, there's no breaks in this
yeah,
item, wherever it is, to get a. I don't want to return. That's
yeah,
why I don't put broken items on eBay, right? Like, I just don't do it because
yeah,
I don't want to. I don't want to return.
yeah,
And they're just making stuff up, and that's what irritates me, right?
yeah.
Like you
No, I
said, I
get it.
put the time and the energy in, and then you just make this nonsense up, and then I'm forced to give you the money back for no reason
Hmm.
at all, just because maybe buyer's
Yeah,
remorse. Who knows, right? Like
yeah,
I have no idea, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I,
My
I,
week
I
my week was pretty good.
yeah. I was gonna try to get over that, and I do want to go back to what Kenny was saying about defects. But yeah, how was your week, Jay?
It was good. My wife started doing some listings for me. My hands almost there. It's almost
Yeah, it
there.
looks a little better. Yeah,
It's almost there, man. It really is.
yeah.
And I mean, even the other hand. I mean, the finger. I'm able to bend this finger a little bit more now.
Hmm.
But yeah, she's been listing. Like we started doing switch lights, and we sold like 6 or 7 switch lights this week. Bunch of video game stuff, bunch of stuff that's was in
Yeah,
the store for maybe like 6 months, 7 months. Bigger ticket items. So a lot of big ticket
awesome.
items this week. Yep, and yeah, really good sales week this
Is
week.
it? Has it gotten? Am I wrong to say that it's gotten even emptier behind you? Did
No,
you
it's
say?
got more. It's got more filled.
Okay, I don't know. I feel I knew something was different. Even again, I didn't know if it was like even less stuff.
Now look, like again, because I started going through some stuff, started emptying out my storage locker from over at um, Merritt Boulevard. Well, let me
Hmm.
dox myself. You have and got in there like stuff like this. Like this is a sealed Gex from the 3DO, not for
Okay.
resale version. Sealed.
Okay.
Uh, this is like it's a 3DO control pad. It's
Okay.
stuff like that. Nice. So I'm kind of adding to the shelf of stuff that I've been taking from another thing and selling it somewhere else. Like I've got a bunch of Super Nintendo Switch controllers, and so it's getting added up. It's kind of I'm still
Hmm.
trying to figure it out, but everything else is in a box. But yeah, it's probably going to be my biggest sales week this year. This
Hmm.
week is the biggest sales week this year. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
been good.
That's good. That's really good.
Yep.
That's awesome. So to get back to what you're talking about, Kenny, about defects. So like you guys don't sell particularly anything you think like with defects, or
I definitely will.
you will?
Oh, absolutely.
I'll mark it as, for parts not
I can't
working.
hear them.
Kenny, we can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear
Yep.
me now? Hello, hello, hello.
All right. Well, we hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can hear me now, right? Okay. No, I'll mark it, for parts not working. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I let people know that it's not working, that it's defective. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I'm never gonna sell something that's defective as it's working, right? Like I'm never gonna lie and say, "Oh no, it works," and when it doesn't, right? Like that's just not what I do. I just
Yeah. But like, what if it's like it's just an item that has like a mark or stain, you know what I mean, or something like that on
oh
it,
yeah, and
and
I
it,
point it out. I'll point it out to the
yeah,
person, right? Like I'll point
okay,
out the flaws. Yeah, I have no problem with that. I
hmm
let them know ahead of time. I'm always honest with the buyer, right? Like
hmm
I don't try to hide marks or defects or any of that
hmm
on the item. I just don't do that because that's how you get an
yeah,
INAD, right? Like it's just
yeah. It's all it does is create problems for later
yeah,
if you don't describe it right.
Yeah, right from the get go. They're
Yeah.
gonna, the buyer's gonna come back like, you're
hmm
hiding a spot from in a picture. You're doing this. That's it's something that they didn't buy. They're going to come back. It's going to come
Yeah.
back, and it's why take the hassle and why pay for the shipping back, and it's just going to cost you more in the end. It does.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Now I tell you what, I wanted to I should have led with this earlier, but I had a pretty crappy day yesterday
What happened?
because so a bird got in my inventory room.
Oh
I don't know
man.
why this is like the second time having this house. I've had a bird get in my basement, and now I know exactly where they came from, so I'm gonna fix that because it's like this vent that goes all the way up to the roof. He must came all the way down. I'm in here shipping yesterday, packing stuff up, and I just hear these like wings flapping in my wall, kind of like behind me, and I'm like, what the heck? So I go back there, and I knew exactly where he was, and I'm holding up like pieces of cardboard on there so he doesn't come out of there, and I'm yelling for my wife, and she finally comes down, and that sucker still got out there a little bit, but I was saying I had a crappy day yesterday because I pooped on some of my inventory.
Oh man, dude.
But it's supposed to be good luck when a bird poops on you. So I don't know. I don't know. Like, but the only I would say maybe it pooped a couple times from what I've seen, but the main one I noticed it was the Monopoly Las Vegas. So I mean that's trying to it's luck versus luck. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so basically, you had a shitty day.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I did. So
That's. Mm,
yeah, and luckily we got it out there pretty easily. Like
yep.
I just opened the cellar door and Jackie she opened a window and it flew right out. So
Good.
yep, but
It
I
could have
was
been
trying to
worse.
avoid it getting to the rest of the house
Yeah.
or
Now who's part of
messing.
the complaint department?
Yeah, yeah, I know, right?
Ah, ha, ha.
Well, I wasn't. Yeah, you're right. That is my. I guess I used up my complaint already.
I
that
don't
that
really
darn
have any
bird.
complaints.
No. Um. But yeah, that was a heck of a day. I don't understand how you know. I mean, I get it, but I don't know why I just keep they. It's once every couple of years. Because this was a well, maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I had the incident the first time where the bird got in here and my dog did absolutely nothing the first time, so I wasn't even calling for her this time.
Mm.
My dog, like, she made friends with the bird last time. They were literally sitting right next to each other, just looking at each other, and it was nothing. Like they weren't
You're lucky it's
afraid of
not
each
like a
other.
squirrel or something.
Yeah,
I'd rather have a bird than a squirrel.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
You better get the chicken wire and put it up on that roof on that over
Yeah.
that chimney.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some wire
Yeah.
and put it right over that vent, so that way I don't keep having an issue. Because I did have, and it makes me think that because I had a bat in the house like years ago too. It was probably about some so many months, not too long after the first time with the bird. So a bat better not come back in here.
Yeah.
If a bat gets in here now, then I'm again like I'm not going to deal with that one very easily because that one was such a pain to get out of the house. That one was terrible. That was worse than the bird.
Oh, I wouldn't mess with no bats, man. I don't
No,
know.
no, that thing was like flying at my head and all. Like I had to keep ducking and diving, like
Yep.
getting on the
I'd
floor.
have to call somebody. They had
Yeah,
to come get it because I couldn't deal with that. Nope.
it was bad. Never again. So I'm hoping not. I'll have to go to Home Depot or something like that and get some mesh or chicken wire or something like that to put up on there.
Yeah.
But but what was it? I had a I had a buyer like I want to know how often this happens to you guys. Like I have buyers all the time who do this. They message you in the middle of the night, right? You guys have that, and like it's two a.m., 3 a.m. Like most of those hours, not many people are even up. How long after somebody messages you a question, like when do you guys respond? Like if you wake up in the middle of the night, do you answer it or do you wait?
Go, Kenny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
me, I'm like, if I'm awake, I'll answer the questions, whatever needs to be answered, except for like taking measurements or ask me a question about the thing. Then I'll say, in the morning I'll get to it. When I get available, I'll grab it. And then what normally happens is I forget and I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my problem.
That's true. I agree. I kind of just get to it when I get to it. Sometimes like if it's in the middle of the night, and say if it's on a Sunday night and you have a bunch of packages pack on Monday or whatever. Those packages are my priority. The customer that asks that question, they can wait. I might not even get to it till like 2 p.m. Depending on what I got going on. And so I had this thing too. I don't like answering questions on some items because I have so many items in my store, and I'm afraid I made a mistake that I sold items somewhere else or something, whatever, or I can't find an item, and it I like to make sure I have the item before I even answer certain questions. You know what I mean? I don't want to answer questions and then he buy it.
Yeah, they
And
buy it and you don't have
yeah,
it.
yep. So I'm very specific on that. But
I can't blame you on that one. That's for certain.
I hate when I'm like half asleep at night and I hear that message sound, that little message notification come up on
Hmm.
eBay. I'm like, oh, what now? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to sleep. And
Yeah.
then if it's something bad, like if it's a bad message, I cannot go back to sleep.
I know. I was getting ready to say that. Yeah. Once the bad message hits, it's like, man,
Like,
come on.
oh yeah, this broke, or why
Yeah.
hasn't this arrived, or
It's day 26 into the into the sale, and it's like, yeah, I don't really like this anymore because it just doesn't feel right, or it doesn't like
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
and it's like
It's
$65. Like, oh yeah, absolutely. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna? Sorry, I mean,
yeah.
no. Yeah, it
And
makes for a bad night.
it's tough too because sometimes so you get these messages and they'll want to do like a bundle or they're sending offers. Let's say if somebody comes in and they want to, I've had this where they want to make an offer on like 8 different items or something, and I'm like, my brain can't comprehend it this time. Like, and then by the time you respond to them, which is hours. I mean, it could be 10, 12 hours later sometimes. Then what is they're probably they could not even be interested anymore.
That's right.
You you know what I mean? They done moved on.
Yep,
So
they done
it's a
on.
lot.
Absolutely. Sometimes
Yeah.
you got to get that right as it happens.
Mm-hmm. It's the disappearing act of the I'm interested buyers, and they just move along like like, oh yeah, I'm interested. They ask some questions, all that kind of stuff, and then they never come back again.
You never come back, dude. It's the fleeting love. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
I had a question or offer last night, probably around like 9 or 10 p.m. Somebody asked about some stuff, and they wanted like 3 hockey pucks, and then ended up narrowing it down that they just wanted one, and and then I sent them the offer for one, and they haven't bought it yet, so I'm waiting to see. But I'm like, thought you were interested.
Yeah, I just sold something about 30 minutes ago. A guy messaged me and said, if I buy this game, would you ship it? It was a disc only game. Would you ship it first class? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely will. I'll ship it first class. Now, is it Ground Advantage first class?
Wait, I don't think it is anymore. Kenny's out again. Can't hear you,
Oh, man.
man. Technical difficulties.
I can hear you
Yeah.
now.
Yep. Nope. Yeah.
I hear no yes. All right.
It's like so delayed. Is it delayed?
It's we get a delay.
Nope. Yeah. Yeah. I would give
Yeah,
that
go
a
ahead,
try.
pop back out and pop back in.
Yep.
Your Spider Man's coming back home. He's popping out and popping back in.
I don't know, but with what were we even talking about for these technical difficulties?
Oh, well, I was talking about a guy messaged me and told me to ship something.
Oh, the first class. Okay, the
Yes, I
first class.
ship it first class, but
I thought.
ground Advantage is first class.
Well, I think there's isn't there still a first, unless he's meaning like first class envelope, because there is a first class envelope when you go in the drop down menu for shipping
Mm-hmm.
options. There is a first class envelope.
Hmm.
There he is.
Can you
Kenny's
hear me
back.
now? Guess who's back? Can't hear him. Can you hear me?
Nope. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just delayed.
I can hear you.
Yep.
Well, no, I'm saying like Ground Advantage is first class mail, just like you have first class letters, you have first class packages, which
Mm-hmm.
is Ground Advantage, and then you have first class like priority mail too. Is also first class. So yeah, it's just different levels. So yeah, Ground Advantage replaced first class mail. So Ground Advantage is first class, technically. Because even eBay says it's
Mm-hmm.
first class. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, ground Advantage is
Mm-hmm.
first class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I feel like some people might get confused now because, like I said, with the first class envelope, certain things. Now I'm sure that's not going to fit into an envelope, right?
Right, it's not.
So but I like if I sell something like, say if it's like a small flat item that's not like a card or anything, but it's small and flat, like maybe like a small little program, or it's, I mean, it's really small, but what am I supposed to do? I can't, they might be thinking first class envelope when for that shipping or something is what I'm thinking. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, I took it as literal, like, I'll ship it first class.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to ship it first class
Yeah.
anyway. But
Yeah. I would have said, yeah, sure, I can ship it ground. But I don't know. And it does get confused. I don't know why they changed like the naming
they
and
just did. I don't.
yeah. They just like to be complicated.
Too much for me. I
Yeah.
don't want.
So how was your guys week as far as like sourcing, any buying, anything pickups you guys had?
I haven't bought anything this week. I bought nothing. Yeah,
That's good.
did shopping at my own
Yeah.
garage.
That's better than I did, because I don't need to be doing it, and that's good. You know.
That's it.
What about you, Kenny? Oh, it's dead again. Nope.
I
Jeez,
need
I'm
to get
sorry,
him.
guys, for these technical difficulties. Yeah, it's
Yeah, we
just
need to get
silent.
him in the same suit. We need to bundle them together.
Yeah. Eh, huh.
Mm,
That's odd.
that's quite possible.
Hmm.
Ah,
Well,
yeah. Just talking about games. I'm like, I just do some bundlers.
yeah. I mean, is he at your house right now?
Yeah,
Why don't he just pop one right there next to you?
I don't know, he could. I could
Just tell
move
him to
over.
come in there, so we don't got to deal with this.
Yeah,
I mean, we
yeah.
we take a short little intermission or whatever,
Now we got a. I got another chair. We could like slip on
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Just for the rest
Hey,
of the episode, it don't matter.
let me just call him. No, he just interrupting. I mean, everybody has some.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's yeah.
Just tell him. Why don't you just come on down here? Look, we're right on the phone. Look, I ain't got to holler up in the air or nothing. Hey, dude, we just grab a chair. You just come sit down here next to me. I'm about to rejoin the thing. Okay, you gonna rejoin? All right.
Okay, we'll give it another shot. I don't know how many times we gotta keep doing it, but
All right.
all right. You there, Kenny?
Yeah, I'm here.
So he's back. All right. We heard you. Nice. Awesome.
What I was saying
All
was,
right. So tell us.
can you hear me?
Yeah, tell us about your buys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sold a bunch of stuff out of my eBay store, so I had to replace it basically. So I'm going back and buying. I bought like a big ass bag of jewelry, whole bunch of media, um, a couple other bags worth of stuff. Some of the stuff you seen last week was some of the new stuff, but I bought like vintage Blu-rays. I hate saying vintage Blu-ray because Blu-ray's new, but like the
Mm-hmm.
older original first rung of like Jackie Chan movies. They actually go for good money, or like the original, first couple years of Blu-ray. You get a more value out of.
Went out again. Nope. We don't get to hear what Kenny bought.
Fill in what he says down in the comments.
We're we're just gonna have him like voice it in.
I know. I can hear you just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a Sprint or Verizon commercial. Now,
Can
can you hear me now?
you hear me now?
The unofficial sponsors. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, we're the unofficial sponsors.
Yeah, they got tired doing cell phone commercials. They're going to do internet commercials
Yeah.
now. Can you hear me now?
Can you see me now?
Yep.
Ah,
You think he's coming down?
he can come down. Yeah, we got another little chair over there. I just scoot to the
Yeah.
side. We're both going to be in this thing.
I know. I think we've been going on for like 15 minutes trying with technical difficulties. Who's going to get watch past this point now?
If you
Oh man.
watch,
Let's see if this helps.
thank you. I do appreciate it,
Nope.
every one of you guys,
Yeah.
for working through the
Can you
technical
hear now?
difficulties with us. We thank you.
Nope.
Can't hear me.
Yeah. It's still so delayed. I'm telling you, you ought to just go sit next to Jay. It's so delayed even when you are talking.
That's
Yeah,
crazy,
it
ain't it?
is.
That just came out of.
And I can't hear you now, so don't.
Nope. You're all out, bro.
What is? Oh, I no. We gotta move past this. We gotta cut all this crap out. Jay's got to do all these edits this week that he's never had to do before. Oh man,
Yeah, I guess he might just come down here. I gotta.
he
Let's see.
should. I mean, why not? You know,
Yeah,
you know, it just makes sense. I was trying to say it before anyway. Like, why they?
yeah. So we got better internet. Maybe it's the internet
Yeah,
being used
I
up.
don't know why. I feel like I've always had complications with hearing him. Like even um, when he was a guest before and stuff like that. I know sometimes the service and all can differ, but it makes you wonder if it's sometimes just like the phone or whatever, you know what I mean, or whatever device he's using, or.
Yep.
But I don't know if you ever have any difficulty hearing me or if I freeze up or anything at all.
No.
But
No. I mean, that's and if it does, it's very, very, very rarely.
hmm
No. Other than that, it's fine.
yeah, I mean technical difficulties are part of any video.
Yep. Any
Doesn't
video,
matter. Yep, doesn't
but
matter. I know all the other podcasts have issues all the time.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Yep.
It's part of real life.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess while we're waiting,
Technology. You think technology would be perfect by now, but it's never going to be.
it's never going to
It's
be.
moving too fast. They keep trying to
Mhm.
create all these new things, but they can't even perfect the crap that's out there.
No, they can't. I guess while we're waiting for them, let's just we kind of move on, and then
Yeah.
we'll get them up as we
Yeah.
go along.
Yep. Um, well, I'll talk about my source in that.
All right.
All
Yeah.
right. So, I know last weekend, so I ended up going to the flea market again. Got there real early. I did actually. I mean, I walked around with Kenny for a little bit, and I know he said he was originally he said he was done for the day. He's like, oh, you don't got to worry about me. I'm all tapped out basically, and then he finds some comics, and I'm standing there for a while. It's like the first aisle we went down, and he finds some comics, and he's standing there for a while, and I'm like, I'm gonna get moving for a little. My dad came along, I talked to him for a little bit, and I went down the aisle next to that. That's when I found all those sports cards. That it was like
Mm-hmm.
six freezer bags just filled of if and most of them were they're either like 2022 to 2024. My guess, I think. Uh, Baseball, football, basketball, all that, and they're all most of them are inserts or rookies. Now it's not all. incredibly like great. Like there wasn't any big hits, but I know there was some cards in there. I paid $15 for all 6 bags, and there's so many cards in there that it literally fit into a 12 by 12 by 12 box. It filled the 12 by 12 by 12 box, and all it took was one card to basically pay for the whole entire lot. I mean, there are a lot of low end cards, even some of the rookie cards. I've been going through them a little bit, listing a few here and there. Some of the like it was like Colton Cowser and Heston Kjerstad, like some of the Orioles rookies and all, and they're just base. Those ones are, but and I thought they'd be a little more than $1.50, but that's all they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure I'm gonna hit some of the rookies that are good. I just don't know off the top of my head yet. Like I've been kind of, I mean I sell cards, but I don't always keep up on like what's the hot cards to
Well,
buy.
a lot of those bases, a lot of those base cards aren't really.
Yeah.
Uh, you got some stuff like Ellie De La Cruz
Hmm.
rookie, Bobby Witt Jr. rookies.
Yeah.
Those are some of the hotter stuff. I mean, even Gunner's even he doesn't command a high price in base stuff,
Hmm.
but it's around the season when the season really kicks off. When we're
Yeah.
talking like April, when it's really in season,
Hmm.
uh, that's when the prices of cards go up just a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like trying to think of who the hot rookies are going to be this year, like prospected.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that
Yeah. I was looking at the top 100 list. I don't
Mm.
remember exactly who was at the top right now, but I was trying to keep that in mind. There was a couple of people that were in like the top 20, but it still doesn't mean anything. That they're those cards are worth that much, but I know there are some rookies that are inserts also in there. They're not just base. There's like I said, there's a lot. I mean, it's a good mixture. I mean, it's a very good mixture of baseball, football, and basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost divided directly in 3 ways that much. And I know there's a lot of basketball inserts and stuff, and the basketball is where I seen some of the numbered stuff. Like I
Yeah.
had the one card that was out of like 25. I think I had another card maybe out of 100 or something, and I know there's a couple other cards that are number 2. Yeah, heck, I was listing one yesterday. I think that was numbered, and I didn't even notice it was numbered. So I'm sure there's stuff I missed. Even I was sorting through it, and there was stuff I didn't even know this card was numbered because I was pulling all the numbered cards out and putting them on the side, and then there was one autograph in there, and it was the Bowman Chrome University, like the football cards. So I think he was a freshman in college last year. This guy was. So who knows where that's going to go? But
Right.
I didn't even know they did Bowman football card, like almost kind of like how the baseball is. It's always like the Bowman's first. Everybody wants
Yeah.
the Bowman's first, like Chrome
Yep.
Bowman's first. Everybody wants that for the baseball cards, and I didn't know they were doing that for football cards now, which is pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Bowman's what usually they're the ones that put out the first rookie card.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I never knew they did it for football, and the
Football.
only reason they started doing it for football is like that with the college, which is better to me. It's the rookie, it's like the official like rookie card basically of these players now. It's kind of changing things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's their actual first cards. So
Yeah, because you can get these guys at in their college uniforms, like you can get Caitlin Clark when she was
mhm,
when she was playing ball before she turned pro, she had some cards. Bronny James,
mhm.
he had his cards, and
Well, Caitlin Clark, um, she didn't have any uh, professional cards out. Like I think they just came out with, or they were getting ready to come out with the first official WNBA
pro
cards.
cards. Yeah,
Yeah, pro
this is
cards.
before she became pro. They had
Yeah.
her
Well,
cards
that's
out.
what I mean. Though. So
Mhm.
like when it's like that, there isn't much to go off of, and it makes me think. So remember, I know I talk about this a lot, but those Pacific football cards. A lot of them, that's their only rookie card.
Yeah.
I think that can happen even with some of these Bowman Chromes. I don't know how it's going to change it. I think it's going to be a little interesting to see how it is further down the line, if there's any value similar to the Pacific cards at all. Or
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the weight on it. It's like,
Mhm.
how long do you have to wait for that to happen? Like
Yeah,
I know even they minor league in baseball, when they had minor league cards in the '90s and the '80s, or a lot of those cards aren't worth a whole lot of money until you
yeah,
get on bigger names like, say, a Ripken or a Bo
hmm
Jackson, um, Ken Griffey Jr. Even now,
yeah,
some of those, especially the minor league cards they gave out kind of like at the stadiums, those are the ones that have real value, not
yeah,
like when they came out with brands that did
hmm
mass
yeah.
that you opened up.
Well, even like there is a lot of value in like the minor league team set cards. Uh, you can buy a team set and sell the cards off individually, even the ones that just come out this year, and sell them a little bit because people are looking for specific card, just a
Yeah,
specific players,
players.
or even down the line. Again, it might be their only card. It's a lot different in baseball where these guys have to, go through levels through the minors to try to get up to the pros, and most of them aren't even going to make the pros.
Nope.
You know what I mean? They're not going to make it to the big show. They're not. Like it's not going to happen. And that's just the reality of it. But
Yeah, that's just what happens.
yep. Now so I went to the estate sale today, and this was kind of a cool find. I've never seen. I had never seen Baltimore County Police trading cards.
Oh, Baltimore County Police. I've seen
I've
Baltimore
seen,
County.
yeah,
Well, I've seen police trading cards.
yeah. I think I've seen like the New York ones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've done that. Everybody, they just have such a following. You know what I mean, between the New York fire department and New York police, because of obviously it's a bigger city. It's so well known, and everything I think that happened with 9/11. They have such a following. They have a lot of merch sales, and I think that kind of type of thing. Like people like to go there and get stuff as a souvenir. But I didn't know that there was Baltimore County police cards, and it was kind of cool. I mean, it was like two big stacks of them, and some of them were autographed.
That's great.
I
Yeah,
don't
they have
I don't know.
fireman cards, and I've seen
Yeah,
those.
yeah. And when I
Yeah.
was looking up, so I don't know what the value is on these, because I tried to look on eBay. There's absolutely none. Um, I cannot find the Baltimore ones at all, and so I have no idea. And there's not too many. I feel like of other ones on there, but the Baltimore set has so many more cards than other sets. It looks like too. The ones I did find of other cities.
Did you buy
So
them?
yeah, I bought them. Yep, $5 for decent size like bag
That's cool.
full of them. So I don't even know if it's a complete set or anything, but it's kind of cool. So I did find a video like with a little bit of history of it. I think it was like opening day, maybe I think it was like 1996 or something like that for the Orioles. The same opening day that as the Orioles in 1996, that Baltimore police officers were just like giving these out, or they were carrying them around and just giving to kids or different things. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's kind of cool. They would
That
just
is
carry it
awesome.
with them. Yeah, yeah. So I never knew they made cards like that, like for around here. But yeah,
That's
that was
cool.
one of the cool finds. So I don't know. I've been buying, I guess, a lot of cards lately between those and then that big, big buy I did over the weekend.
Yeah.
But but the
Anything
crazy.
else?
So my wife had the crazy thing that she bought the best item of the day at the estate sale. It was a vintage jacket, and it's a Nike jacket. That's like a what is it? It's almost like a sideline jacket. It's green, but it's really long. It's like a parka type jacket,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really cool. It even has the spell out on the back. Um, she found that, well, when we first got in there, we split up. I went down to the basement because I had a feeling some of the sports stuff was down there. She went up top, and because it was a split level house, and so she went into like the main area or whatever up top, and she said she found that in the bathroom.
Wow.
There was no other clothes really in the bathroom, I don't think, and she just found it sitting there on railing for the shower or something like that. And but she paid $15 for it, and it looks like it's comping at like 90 to 100 probably.
Wow.
So.
When you don't expect to find some stuff in the bathroom like that.
Yeah. Well, we've been watching a couple people, and some of them actually go to the bathroom first. I think it depends on the house. I don't know if this house was necessarily the best house to do that, but she lucked out where that's where she headed to, and this jacket was just there.
That's cool. You get lucky. Got lucky.
Yeah, because there are a lot of good things you can find in the bathrooms. That's why I do watch a couple people that you can find some discontinued products, and whether it's cleaning products or just like self care, type products and all, you can find that stuff, and people will pay up for it if they can't find it anymore. But I don't think that's usually my first go to or anything. And a lot of estate sales won't even show, or at least around here, they won't show too many pictures of the bathroom anyway. It's like there's usually not too much in there, or they don't even care. And some of them just throw the crap away before you even get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You can find some stuff in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
There's things there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and I don't like going to the bathroom like in there like a lot of estate sales, because a lot of people like some customers will end up using the bathroom. You ever had that? Like people use the bathroom at the estate sale. I'm like, well, I get it. You've been waiting out here for 2 hours in line trying to get in, and then
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I'm sure I'll have that issue later down the line when I develop a poor bladder.
Poor bladder. It's so weak.
Yep.
And Jackie's gonna be like, "What are you doing, Ray?"
No, she's usually the one I feel like every time we go somewhere she needs to go.
Yeah, that's the way my wife is. Like her bladder is like, I don't know, understand it. I gotta use the bathroom, or it's like if I carry a bag, I gotta use the bathroom. Or
dude, it just happens though. Like it's the worst staying in line and you gotta go.
Yeah.
And I know when I was real young, I went to Disney, and I don't remember too much about this trip. I was so young that I don't remember much about it. But the main thing I remember is getting yelled at because we waited in line for hours for something. And we get all the way up there, and I said I had to go to the bathroom.
You're going to have to wait.
No, we didn't. And I got yelled at the whole time. We were going to the bathroom. And that's
Dude,
what I remember.
I think we should create something called the resell diaper.
Yeah. The resell diaper. Are your sales the shit? So is Kenny not coming down? He not going to join us?
I guess he's not going to join us. I don't.
Oh no, we kicked him out. Then we're going to say we kicked him out.
Yeah, Kenny, he lofted out.
Just days after I put a welcome post on Instagram. Like, nope, didn't last long. He's gone. It's like, I'm kidding.
No, we'll have to get him up and running. We'll have to get him up and running again.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it sucks when you have technical difficulties, and then you don't really want to deal with it or anything like that. But I don't get it. He's literally there. He can just hop right in.
Sit right next to me.
Yep.
I don't bite.
Well, it's your brother, so I mean, he can't sit next to his brother. But what else do I want to talk about? Have you been into the new thrift store?
No.
I went today.
Was it any good? Okay.
It's okay. I mean, I think some of the prices are fair. the quality of their hard goods weren't very good at all. It was very poor quality. The shelves were pretty empty on that side, so I don't know, maybe if it's they're just not getting enough or they're selling through a lot of that.
There are a lot of people in there.
No, not really. I mean, there was maybe about 3 or 4 people in there. And I've heard a lot of good things on a local Facebook page about it, but I was thinking everything was fine until I heard a customer ask how much something was, and I didn't even look up because I'm like going through the racks. I didn't look up to see what they were asking about, but I just heard the cashier reply, "Oh, that's $1,000," and I'm like, "Whoa, what? What is that? What is at a thrift store for $1,000?" And I think that tells me all I need to know.
Yeah, that tells you everything. Were
Yeah.
they putting any new merchandise out while you were there?
No.
It's not a. Yeah, it's going to be a poor run thrift store because if you're not putting stuff out every day, constantly, not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not. I can tell you.
Yeah.
I can tell you when your thrift store is going to die.
Yeah.
From the moment you walk in a thrift store, I'll tell you if it's going to survive. And if just by knowing that, it will not survive.
Yeah. I know. I mean, how do you compete when because I was hearing today, I think it was was it part-time picker Matt and Kayla.
Yeah.
You know, they were both talking on one of their episode or last upload or whatever on YouTube. It was Goodwill puts out like 30 something carts. I mean, not carts, racks a day or something like that. Carts or racks.
Not all of them, but
I don't know. But at least that location that they're at, and I'm like, so you put it in perspective, you do have to put out a lot of product.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? But it has to leave just as quick too. So, but that it was weird because this thrift store didn't even have any media.
Wow.
No media. I didn't even see any books. Now I know it is a smaller store, so maybe they're just trying to limit themselves on certain products. But what do you do with all the books in the media?
Think about it.
I don't know.
You're supposed so in a thrift store there's a replacement rate. So it's how long that stuff supposed to sit on the shelves, right? And most of the time it's like a week.
Yeah.
That anything's supposed to sit on the shelf. And you're supposed to come in, replace it, and that's supposed to then move out. And then you're supposed to sell it, throw it away, sell it whole, sell it in a bulk, to another business or whatever it may be. But you have to replace everything that's there. Now, if you have like a higher end place, like we use like a boutique or something, that stuff can sit a little bit longer. It doesn't.
Well, that's what they call themselves. It says thrift boutique.
So understanding the term boutique means that it's you're only selling higher dollar merchandise. Yeah. It's not going to be those. They're not going to. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to work out for them.
Yeah,
not.
Now, like I hope, I mean, I don't wish for anything, like for them to fail. I mean, this area I think needs a good thrift store. There's nothing, in this vicinity right here. So I think it needs something, especially not just for like resellers, but for the community. And I think they do okay on their clothing, but as far as like other stuff, like, you know what I mean? It's a little tough. They need to just figure out a little bit. I mean, I hope they have success. I want them to be around, but and have it for the community. Heck, even the other thrift store that was over by the post office, I think it's still good for the community to have that, but you know what I mean? But I get it. But if you're getting the stuff for nothing,
but they're probably not getting the stuff for nothing. They're paying for the stuff. I mean, you got something in your store for $1,000. Think about it. To run that, where now you have to imagine, are they getting it donated? Is it
Yeah.
being donated?
Well,
Because are they a
they
nonprofit?
I've heard a lot of people ask about like donations and stuff, like they can donate stuff or whatever. So I don't know.
Well, that's only because they call themselves a thrift store. Everybody thinks you could just donate stuff.
Yeah,
And people say, yeah, you could donate, but are you really a nonprofit? And
yeah,
can I get a donation slip from you for
yeah.
me giving you these items?
Hmm.
And 90% of the time, places like that, the answer is no. Now, Goodwill, they get enough donations where they could put stuff out to the floor.
Hmm.
I mean, at least they're they
Yeah,
sell things, but they take the best stuff and they put it
yeah,
online. It is what it is.
yeah.
It's
Like I said, I don't want to bash them too much because I mean, plus it's still early on, so I'm
yeah,
just hoping. I hope they succeed. I want to be down there shopping. I want to
yeah.
go. And it's right down the street.
I want you to survive. I want everything
Yeah,
to. I want I don't
yeah.
wish any bad stuff. But if you're in this, see, and I only do that because I've managed thrift
Hmm.
businesses and Goodwills, and my wife has, and I've been around the business in the industry. I've been around it all my life,
Hmm.
and I can literally, if I go into a store and I talk to and understand what their business is, I can understand. I'll know if you're going to survive or not. Quick. I
Yeah,
mean, I'll know that it's that easy to know.
yeah.
Because a lot of stores they'll open up if you're fresh and you'll do good for the first month because most of all your fresh product is out and everybody who wants it they bought it.
Hmm.
Everything else is going to sit there and now you got to go through people that's not. I just sold.
Dang, you cha-chinging,
Yeah,
cha-ching.
I sold a DVD.
DVD, awesome. There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah,
So
I've been selling every day now. My wife
that's awesome.
started it all out. She's been doing a good job for me, and
Yeah.
she's my employee. I feed her in chocolates and no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Oh man,
No, it's awesome. Yeah, she's done a good job.
that's
But
good.
yeah, thrift stores. It's not. It will not. I got to stop and see it. But you know what else? Now listen on this Wise. You know how Wise goes into that other street. What is that called? Holabird Avenue.
Hmm.
So across the street from I think it's Chipotle. There was
Okay.
a building. It was for rent. It was an office space. I thought it was office space.
Hmm.
They had like for rent signs. There's been like 8 of them out there. As I drove past, I caught out of the corner of my eye, someone must have rented the building,
Hmm.
and it's a buy sell trade shop.
Really?
I don't know if they're open or not,
Yeah.
but it's a buy sell trade shop there.
Huh. That's
I
interesting.
haven't been in it. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know, but
Might have to check it out.
if I knew that, I would have probably looked at renting the building and made a video game store because the rent was probably ridiculously cheap. They
Yeah.
had 8 for rent signs out there, Ray. And
Wow.
when somebody has an 8 for rent signs out in front of a building, they need to rent that
Yeah.
quick.
They're desperate.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because it's hard to have a physical store around here. I think. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, there's as much as it's lacking. These shopping centers are lacking stores around here. They just want this crazy amount of rent
Hmm.
that it's
That's
a
it.
regular. Yeah,
It's
a
too
regular
much.
person can't just go in there and do it anymore. They can't just
No.
set up shop and
No. That's
you
what
know.
that's what hurts. Everybody's got these properties and they want as much money as they can for them. Let me
Mm-hmm.
get this, and they throw business in there, and the business don't last because your overhead is way too much money.
Mm-hmm.
You're spending $3,000 a month in rent, and think about how much money you pay for the items and how
Yeah,
much you have to make just to break even.
yeah,
I
yeah. A
mean, a lot
month.
of times you're gonna have to sell $6,000, $7,000 a month, eight
Yeah,
thousand dollars a month just to break even or more.
yeah.
You know,
And to me too, if you're going to try to sell, if you're going to need to sell product that quick, you know, you might as well just do it on one of these live shows if you got to sell it that quick.
right? If you got to sell it that quick, but
You know, to
I mean,
keep it moving.
I like the location only being especially if you niche down to that like a video
Mm-hmm.
game store would be perfect. Video game comics and toys because it's a busy road and there's a lot of people will be able to see you And when that comes, when the busy road happens, that means there's a lot of people know that they can bring stuff to you to sell.
Yeah.
That's why
Yep.
the buy sell trade shop would
Yeah.
work
Oh
as
yeah. Well, that's
perfect.
why that's what Craigslist Hunter does.
Yep,
Because he doesn't have a pawn shop, he has a buy sell
buy
trade.
sell trade. Yep.
Yeah. So because there's a lot of other things that you need if you're going to do a pawn shop, because they do like loans and late, you know what I mean, like
Yeah. Hmm.
to pawn something, you need, there's a lot more stuff that goes into that, and I think that, like, you need some type of approval and all
Yeah,
kinds
you
of
got to
stuff.
be bonded, and there's
Yeah,
a
so
lot of
yes, there's a
lot of
lot of things you need, I know, for that. And so yeah, buy sell
security.
trade is
Yep.
smart. Um,
Yeah. And
but
that's cool. I mean, I wish I would have even looked at seeing how much the rent was. I didn't think about it, and I passed it up every time. And I thought it was like maybe for like certain. There was like it was going to be like an office spot. It
hmm
wasn't. It was not. It was for the. It was for the building itself.
wow,
I wish I would have paid attention to it.
yeah, wow. I would love to have a consignment shop or something, or an antique shop around here, to have like to rent out booths or something, because there's nothing like that here. You know what I mean?
There's nothing
And,
like it.
and you
I
see
mean,
how well the flea market thrives. I
yeah,
feel like it could go really well around here.
yeah.
And like, and I'm
That's possible.
yeah, I just think it could, but I mean, I could be wrong. I don't I don't know. I've never owned one, so. But just, you see how much, you know what I mean. If the normal person can't even get into, if they're having, during the summer, they have difficulty getting a spot just to sell at the flea market here.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You got to
They do.
think with the antique booths that you're renting out, all the time, it'd be a lot different. But what I would want to do is, there's that one that I don't forget what state it was, and I've seen the video, but where they just rent out um, little booths like per week, and they're like really small booths, or like spots in the store, but you can rent out to more people. But everybody brings in their own stuff. They set it up themselves, and you just sell it for them throughout the week. So you
Yeah.
know what I mean. That
Hmm.
and that's it. You pay. It might be like you take 30% or 40% or something like that, and but they're responsible for coming back and getting their stuff, and but they only rent per week. Like, and what I would do is, like, you can only rent um this week, and then you got to be put on the wait list for next week, to see if keep it in line, to have it ever changing inventory in there, because then you get new people in there every week, and it's not the same stuff every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that person can bring back that same stuff in 2 weeks maybe, but
Mhm.
you know what I mean. I don't want the same stuff in there every week.
That's the thing, because people get right when there's same stuff
Yep.
every week, people get bored and they'll stop coming.
Yep.
It
But I
is
think,
unless
yeah,
it's a destination.
yeah, but I think that'd be perfect. You get 25, 30 vendors, in there each week, and each week it's 25 to 30 different vendors.
Yeah.
It's smart. You know what I mean?
But that's why I like the vehicle of that the buy sell trade shop, because um, what it is, it's especially if it's lower rent and a
Mm-hmm.
high traffic area, it lets you know that, hey, I'm buying, and they'll always have stuff to sell. Somebody's always trying to get rid of something,
Yep.
or thinking about not having something, or downsizing, or wanting to buy things themselves, even if they want to get
Yeah.
rid of things. So it's like, if I'm paying $1,000 a month for some type of rent somewhere, I know that I can get merchandise in my front door from people. So that keeps me without having to go out my front door and waste my
Mm-hmm.
time, go find more things. And
Yeah.
so that vehicle allows me to sell it there, and I can also sell it online as I go along
Yep.
through the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like it's a win-win. It's, sometimes you got to pay to have that things come into your front
Yep.
door. So,
Oh yeah. And I think to be open every single day is good. It just depends. I guess when what matters the most, though, is the location. If people are going to be coming in that location at the end of the day, you know what I mean.
hmm.
Just like any business, it's all about the location. If you put your business in a poor location, I just don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think exactly the building, but I know it can be like on that side. you're saying, I think it can be a little slow sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Business wise. So it just depends. But I mean,
Which I think it's more an area where there's houses are. There's
okay.
houses, and there's this one. I guess it used to be a gun place.
Okay. Now I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just think I don't know if a regular business has ever been there, but I think that the area is so packed with traffic
Mm-hmm.
that a business like that is going to bring people in to sell things.
Oh yeah.
It just
Yeah.
will. I've
I mean, it's
noticed.
on a good road, I think.
Yeah, it's sort of good road. Like I've noticed, like people from um they don't necessarily, we're resellers. We can look at selling things in different manners. But like if you're in a GameStop and you always see these people come in and they're willing to sell their stuff, like I got a system with games and I got this, and
Mm-hmm.
you think, well, why wouldn't you have sold it in a different way? But they don't think like we do because they don't have that reseller thought. It's
Mm-hmm.
the fact, let me go to the closest place that I know is going to give me money.
Yeah.
That's how most humans think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, we're humans, but that's how most people think. Let me
Yeah.
just, and especially you got big signs out there: buy, sell, trade. We had this. People are gonna be like, "What do I have to sell around my house?" And not, I want to go check this place out.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
No. No. I'm definitely gonna check this place out. I think.
yeah. Now I
I think
think
you're
I'm gonna
talking
go
about it.
check it out after we get off the phone. I don't know if they're open
Oh
yet,
yeah.
but
Okay.
after we get off the phone, after we get out of this podcast, because I think
Yeah.
my wife and I maybe is gonna ride up to the Amish market, maybe
Okay.
grab some
There you
chicken
go.
tenders or something.
That
I,
sounds good.
Yeah, I gotta pay her for her posting she did today.
Oh yeah.
I
Well, you gotta
pay
get
her
some
in
chocolate then.
I pay her in food. No, she's chicken tenders today.
Okay. So I wanted to talk real quick too. My that podcast. I mean, not the podcast. I wanted to talk about this on the podcast. Um, and I wanted to bring it up earlier, but I was waiting to see what was happening with Kenny. But at that estate sale, so I bought these books, and um, they're like these well, there's Where's Waldo, and then like the Find It type books. Like
Yeah.
they have different characters in them. Like I think there was some like Disney ones, and there was like a Tasmanian Devil or some one like a Looney Tunes one. But I bought it was just a short stack. It might have been $5 or $6 or something. But the one was a goofy one, and when I get home, I'm just like start to go through the books. So I'm trying to see what I have exactly. I didn't really look up the comps there, and I just thought they were kind of neat. But I opened up the goofy one to a big surprise.
Mm.
Somebody's half nude photos were in there.
What, in a children's book?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Oh my god. And there it was like printed out on just like regular copy paper, but yeah, like the first couple pages was just tucked in there
Oh wow,
in a children's book. Yep.
that's sick.
I'm like, what the? I was so shocked. I'm like, what the? Like, what?
I don't
I
even.
was like, I say to I had to say to my wife, I'm like, look what I found. It's not
Wow.
Waldo,
Yes.
not Goofy,
Was it a man or a woman?
a woman.
Oh, you say
I think it might have been two different women too. I
I
don't
thought
think
you
they're the
found
same.
Walter. I don't know.
No, yeah, Walter. No, well, no, they I was reading one of the Where's Waldo books, and his friend is Wenda. So,
Wenda.
so I'm guessing it's Wenda. I found
Found
Wenda.
Wenda.
She nowadays she's on OnlyFans. Oh,
That's crazy, dude.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
maybe it was I don't know. Maybe it was some kid who was
yeah.
trying
It could
to.
have been. It could have been like when I was thinking. It was probably some teen because these books are from like the '80s or something like that. It
Yeah.
could have been some teen even like. They're like, I'm gonna hide these from my parents. They'll never know. And then they're there for years. That parents never sold the books or did anything with them. They're probably in there for years. They're just hiding from their parents
Wow.
or something. I
That's what
don't
they
know.
probably did.
Yeah.
Was it sticky?
No, now I don't even want these books. You want them?
They made it all perverted and stuff,
I know.
And I was just curious. Like, I mean, that there's pictures in there for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody's got a Where's Waldo fetish.
Yeah, never know. Like, what fetishes are crazy. There's so many people out there doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, no. Yep.
That's nuts.
But yeah.
Hmm.
Um. Oh, not on. What the heck was it? I had a buyer message me. So I have two things. I want to get to my actual complaints of the week. I have two. I
You got
have one. A buyer opened up a case, and they said I sent it to the wrong address, and they gave me the address, and it's like 30 minutes from their house, and they're saying that I think they're basically implying it's like my fault.
No, was it the address on the thing?
I just shipped it to the address that was
Guess what?
in the
Not
label.
your
I know.
fault. Nope.
I know. I
They'll
know it's
side with
not,
you.
but
They'll side with you every time.
I know.
Yep,
I know. I'm
every
well
time.
aware.
Yep.
But they I don't know. They're like just expecting basically I should have known or something like that. I'm like, no,
No.
so but now it's on its way back. It's return to sender, so now I got to deal with that.
Um. Do they know it's on your way back?
Yes.
Did it say it's been delivered?
Not yet. Well, no, no. It said delivered, but then it return to sender is processed now. I know the deal because you technically don't have to do anything.
Yeah, you technically don't have to do anything.
But me being me, but I already told her I'm not. I'll refund it in fully, just not the shipping.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Because I'm not gonna let her keep she's not getting the shipping back. I mean, I can at least do that. I know mistakes happen, and there was that whole issue a while back. I don't know if you remember, where a lot of people they were buying stuff and it was shipping to their old address.
Yeah.
And stuff. So I know stuff like that happens, and it's not anybody's fault. And it's not like I'm not really losing too much on it because it's a magazine. It's one of those alternative press magazines. It doesn't take much to ship that or anything like that. So I told her as long as it comes back in the same condition I shipped it in, I'll refund it in fully, besides the shipping price. So
yeah, okay,
yeah. Second complaint. So remember last week I said I said I had my first Etsy sale.
Yep.
Shipped it out and all. I got my first review. Now it's not perfect. It not a perfect 5-star review. I got a 4 out of 5, and I know I shouldn't be complaining about that, but it's my very first review on Etsy, and they said that they would have left 5 stars, but it smelled like it was at the bottom of a hamper.
Oh man, that sucks.
Come on, man.
Did it smell that way though?
I don't think so. I mean, now I had it in a tote with some other clothes, so I don't know. But it technically it was actually at the bottom of the tote, so they're halfway right. But I don't think it smelled like that.
Dude, get some fabric spray or something.
I know, and now I'm gonna have to spray everything now. And I know it was clean and everything. There was nothing wrong with it, but right. if clothes sit there for a while,
yeah, they get a little.
You know what I mean? They could sit there for 6 months, even, and they just smell like nothing. They just smell like clothes.
Yeah,
they're not gonna smell like they were just washed.
Come on, man. People are just so. I don't know. They probably just wanted to wear it right out of the package. That's probably what the problem was.
Yeah.
And they're mad because they have to wash it.
They said they were expecting to have to clean it, wash it anyway. So I'm like,
well, what's the problem?
I don't know.
I mean, you can't answer that. It's just how people are. I mean,
yeah. But yeah, I wish at least my first review wasn't 4 out of 5, and it said it smelled like it was at the bottom of a hamper.
Yeah.
Now everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, this smells."
Yeah, this smells like cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh, I got some hats today now that smell like that, and I gotta clean them or figure out, how to get that smell out. I got some Ravens hats. Some Ravens hats I've never seen. They're Reebok. So a lot of that Reebok NFL stuff is starting to come back because now that's becoming vintage.
Yeah, it's
So,
vintage.
yep. So I found a
Yep.
few of them, and so one I have not seen. It's okay. There's it's a NFL Ravens hat Reebok. There hasn't been any NFL hats of this style listed. Well, no, there's been one listed and sold in the past 3 years, and it was last year. It was a Falcons hat, but no other team has had this hat listed on eBay. Like, there's no other team or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I literally gonna have the only Ravens hat like this that's been listed in the past 3 years.
What are you pricing it for?
They sold the Falcons one for 20 last year, but I think I can get more.
Yeah.
If the Ravens have a better market, I think, than the Falcons. So, I might I don't know. Who knows? I might try 50. I'll put best offer on it and just
see what it see what
yeah.
it see what
But
it
it's
goes.
really cool. It's like a tribal design on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. I think it's just a strap back or something. I don't think or it might be a snapback. But it's not like the flat build or anything. A lot of Reebok hats back then weren't like that. They, remember for a long time, a lot of NFL hats weren't even flat bill
Right.
hats. That's
Yeah.
kind of the era that it came from.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's cool, though. Yeah.
But that's all I got.
I ain't got much either, and I know we're coming up, an hour and a quarter here.
Yeah,
I think
I
we
know.
could
After we
close this
kicked
one
Kenny
out.
out,
Yeah, kick Kenny out. He could have came down here. We could have. Yeah.
yeah, he chose not to be with us now.
Yes.
That hurts now.
He hates us, man. Now we feel bad.
Yep.
No. Well, brother, I think we're going to end it. Guys, I
All right.
thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. And you guys have a great and blessed and lovely day.
Yep. See ya.
See ya. Bye.